Something astonishing has happened in Spain. Pedro Sánchez, the Socialist Prime Minister, mired in a series of corruption scandals, has announced an amnesty for over 500,000 illegal migrants. Overnight, with no debate, no due process, and almost no security checks, a population the size of Lyon or Lisbon have become legal residents. Already, illegal migrants from across Europe are flocking to Spain to try and take part. Egged on by radical far-left politicians who've announced their desire to replace the Spanish people with these migrants, Sánchez has rammed through an astonishing breach of Spain's national borders. And under Spain's notoriously permissive rules, these migrants could soon be eligible for Spanish citizenship or for EU work and travel permits. So this is not just a disaster for Spain, but potentially one for the whole of Europe as well. Vox, the patriotic party in Spain, have been sounding the alarm about this outrageous move. To find out more about what on earth is going on, I sat down with Jorge Buxadé, who's an MEP in the European Parliament representing Vox. So, Jorge, thanks so much for joining us. This is a hugely important issue. Could you just tell us the context of what happened? 'Cause I think people won't actually believe it when they hear the numbers of hundreds of thousands of illegal migrants being granted status and amnesty.
Yeah. And we don't know how many people, because they speak about 500,000, but maybe there are 600 or 700. Or today we have known that many people is coming to Spain from France. Illegal migrants that are living in France, they come to Spain to say we are living in Spain. It's yes, I think the European people knows the situation. No, it's Pedro Sánchez, the Prime Minister of the Socialist government in Spain, announced 1 week ago that they have agreed with Podemos, a very far left party, political party in Spain, that they want to grant residence permits to all those foreigners that can prove that they are living in Spain 5 months ago until December 31 of 2025, without any checks. And it's a disaster.
Yeah, well, we will discuss some of this, but first, why is Sanchez doing this? What's the game? Some people talk about buying votes. Some people talk about crazy left-wing ideology. Why do you think he's doing this?
I think maybe we can distinguish 3 reasons. No? The first is to hide the brutal corruption that is surrounding his family, his political party, and his government. Now he has the wife and his brother. They are awaiting a trial for very serious crimes. The inner circle of Pedro Sánchez is now in prison. And even some tragedies, like the accident of the train in Córdoba, behind that, there is corruption. And he can speak about other issues. Second, obviously there is an ideology. The left hate the West, hate our country, and they have accepted all the goals of the globalist plan to destroy our civilization. And third reason, obviously, they are thinking that many of these foreigners can vote, or be able to vote in the next local elections in June 2027. And also many of them can achieve the Spanish nationality, being residents for 1 year or 2 years. And they are thinking in these new voters. Obviously, they change the political spectrum in Spain. They change the people, the sovereignty of the people, and they think that these people are going to vote in favor of the leftist parties.
Yeah, and Vox, obviously, you're trying to really highlight this issue, but also mention that it's potentially a European issue as well. This is not just confined to Spain.
Yes, it's true. And for us, the most important is, and for this reason, I thank MCC for this interview, that the European people needs to know that. Yesterday, in the meeting of our political group here in Brussels, the Patriot for Europe, I asked the rest of the delegations, the French delegation, the Hungarian, the other delegations, to put proposals in their national parliaments to condemn this action of this regulation in Spain. In Spain, we are going to fight against this regulation. We have announced that we will put a process in the Supreme Court, and we have also announced that we are going to ask the suspension of this regulation because of the serious damages for Spanish.
Yeah.
And in the future, we also have announced a general audit of all these new permits, and to start when we arrive in power, we are in power to start a general plan of expulsion, deportation, and remigration of all of those immigrants.
Yeah, that's important because this regularization is one of several such parts of this long process of more and more of people being allowed into Spain. This process has been going on for a while.
I think we are now in 3 million people in the last 8 years. So it's a number, incredible number, and it began with the People Party when Aznar was president. 25 years ago, they did a first extraordinary regularization of migrants. And we have now legalized 1 million people in 3 processes. And also we have this process of familiar
like regrouping,
the rassemblement, the reagrupation of family, and these numbers are multiplied for 2, 3. We don't know. We don't know because the government are not controlling the Spanish government and the other governments. This is the question.
Yeah, and I noticed as well that there's been this very viral social media clip of the politician from Podemos who was saying, we want these people to replace the Spanish, but we're doing this to replace all of these old, racist, nasty Spanish people. We want new people.
Yes. Mrs. Montero was a former minister in Spain. Now is here, is an MEP. And is a spokeswoman of Pedro Sánchez. And this statement, these declarations of Mrs. Montero are the confirmation that the replacement theory is not a theory. It's a plan. They have this plan. They hate the white men. They hate the family. They hate Europe. They hate the nations. And they want that. She is convinced of this plan. They don't want people well-educated, and with convictions. They prefer migrants without any profound convictions about Europe, about our virtues, our values, and they prefer that. It's easy to move these people to turn the opinions.
Yeah, and if one more question, if I may, because now Pedro Sánchez is announcing crackdowns on the internet, on social media, and so it seems that first there's this incredible regularization of the illegal migrants, and now potentially you won't even be able to talk about it. They want to control the speech as well.
Exactly. They but it's the same. The first goal is to move the public opinion to not speak about the corruption. on the other side, 4 years ago, they wanted people 16 years old to vote, and now they want to ban people 16 years old to participate in the social media, because they have lost the young people in Spain. Young people is now in the polls. Polls are saying now people from 16 to 24 years old, Vox are in 35-40% of the projections.
Yeah.
And they want to ban the young people to participate, to be informed by social media, because we are absolutely prohibited in the media, in the normal media.
Yeah, and so what's the next step for Vox? As you say, in Europe, we need to make this move known. We need to demonstrate that potentially it impacts the rest of Europe. These people could soon be able to live and work in other European countries. But what else do we need to do, or Vox need to do, to move this conversation along?
I don't know, everything. In Spain, in Europe, in all the in the European Parliament, obviously we try to put a debate, for example, in the next plenary week in Strasbourg, and I think the CPO today, they have decided to talk about. They prefer to talk about the IC and the violence in United States, but they don't want to talk about these thousands of people that maybe are criminals, rapists, killers, and in a few hours they can be in Paris or in Brussels with the residence permits.
Yeah.
Also, you cannot to expel or deportation to these people, and they don't want to talk about.
Yeah.
Fight.
Yeah, well, we will be drawing more attention to this issue. We're delighted to have this interview with you, as I think this story is going to grow and grow, because it seems that Sanchez is determined to crack down on discussion of it. So we want to highlight that. So, Jorge, thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome.